I am thou, thou art I. Thou hast acquired a new vow. It shall become the wings of rebellion that breaketh thy chains of captivity.
Oh my. The cringe begins. Take it away.
So welcome to SRPG Plus. Today we're going to be doing a review of pretty well-known JRPG. A lot of hype around it right now. Persona 5. You know, with Joker coming to Smash, with all this P5R stuff coming out, we gotta make sure to let everyone know that this is a good RPG, man. We gotta give a little review of it. So I hope you guys enjoy this video here today. Persona 5 story is based around the protagonist Ren. He was recently moved to Tokyo due to being wrongfully prosecuted for assault, making him a known criminal from the beginning of the game, creating an atmosphere of captivity and surveillance for him. Afterwards, he notices a mysterious app on his phone that brings him into a cognitive area between abstract thought and true reality. Afterwards, Ren ends up in his own cognitive mind state. It's known as the Velvet Room, a prison where he learns of his destiny set to fail, sort of like the chains of captivity. But with assistance from Igor, the master of the Velvet Room, and his teammates, he can change his destiny with the wings of rebellion. The main focal point of the game is individual characters, the relationships that they have with Ren and how they grow. The more that you spend time with them, the more that you understand them, and it helps supply the plot. A big important part of this game is social links and confidants. Since Persona 3, there has been one element of the game that succumbs all pretty much, and it's just like anime. It's the one strongest thing that could ever be: friendship.
Shonen trope number 1.
And these social links are prevalent through the people you meet and in your experience of the game. There are a lot of optional mechanics that can add. You know, you can get side quests through them, you can add different storylines and have a completely different game through the first time frame or the second, playthrough. And doing so will level up their specific arcana tailored to that person. These things do a variety of different types of skills for your character, whether it be upgrading them in battle or things that help support you in battle, like making more money. And once that level is maxed, it does give you a little bit of a surprise at the end too. And it is one of my favorite parts of the Persona. It's the idea of the Fool's Journey. You know, these arcanas, these tarot card arcanas, it's a common story reference. It pretty much is the birth of cognitive life until the end of the divine, as the cards are depicting it. And understanding these individual meanings, because each character gets this individual arcana, it gives even more life to the game that isn't even in the text.
True. Alright, and then we got music. So, music for this game is made by Shoji Meguro, a music composer for Atlas, who has done marvelous work in previous franchise installments in both the Personas and Megami Tensei series. Meguro does wonderful work in setting up a different theme in his scores depending on the atmosphere of the games, and Persona 5 is no exception. So yeah, I think everyone who's ever heard anything about Persona, like in any of them, just knows that the music is top notch. Like, those have some serious vibes, whether it's the English version or the Japanese, or I don't know if they do any other languages besides that, but has some real jams. The opening, Beneath the Mask, things like that, it's crazy. So Meguro noticed Persona 5's gameplay reminded him of an animated show, Lupin the Third, which just got rebooted. That's a really classic anime, and it's really funny too, so I can definitely see where it gets that inspiration with characters like Ryuji and how they act with the rest of the Phantom Thieves. And yeah, that's where the jazz inspiration and soundtrack comes from, is kind of with that reference to Lupin the Third. And then Persona 5 soundtrack has been praised since the date of the game's release. So since it came out, people have really been enjoying it. I've seen a lot of other YouTube channels whose just whole channel's music that they use is Persona 5 because it's just that good and so many people recognize it. I've been a long time RPG fan, JRPGs, action RPGs, strategy RPGs, Pokemon, where that falls in, just stuff like that. Ever since I was a little kid, starting with games like Shining Force, Final Fantasy VII, oh my god, the memes, we know. But games like Dragon Quest Warrior, Dragon Quest Monsters, just a lot of RPGs that I just love. And Persona has inched its way up onto that list. This is the first Persona game I've played, and it was such a strong title that I can't wait for it to come out to the Switch, which I know it will, mark my words. And I'm excited if they port more Persona games like the older ones, I'll definitely jump into those too.
Yeah, definitely I agree. But personally, I feel that I've not been as into RPGs as you are. However, with Persona 5, the soundtrack, the confidants, and the arcanas tied between them, I feel like all of these things together have really opened me up to a wide plethora of games that I've been missing out on, and I can't wait to try out.
That's good to hear. Now, you know what you should play next? Final Fantasy Tactics or Fire Emblem, but that's for another video. And in Persona 5, dungeons are referred to as palaces, so I felt that palaces were a really strong mechanic for the game that really pushed the plot forward. Just with my experience with JRPGs, I do feel that the dungeons are way too long and they're improperly paced, because it's like if I've been playing this game and I'm 10 hours in this one area, yes, the music is amazing and seductive and makes me want to keep playing, but it's like the dungeon or palace does not need to be that long. So that's just one of my critiques with the palace section of just the review. I did like a lot of things that they did with the palaces as well. So they're inspired by the locations where Thieves' Heist would most likely happen, which makes perfect sense. Like, they had the vaults, they had the pyramids, like, they had a really vast setting, which really was, and like, you even took a trip with your class to a whole nother country. The game just had so many layers with the setting and location, and the palaces I felt also were a really strong suit of the game. Next we have combat. So in this game, it's a traditional style of JRPG. A new mechanic is the hold up feature, letting you speak to the shadows and request them to join your cause, or you can just pressure them for items or money, which is a really cool feature, popular in the SMT games. And all-out attacks reappear as they have been in previous installments, so pretty bread and butter combat for an Atlas game, like that's in either the vein of Persona or SMT. And like when I just see characters like a Jack Frost, he's such like an icon that I didn't even know. I knew of Jack Frost before I knew of Persona, and it reminds me of so many other RPGs like a Dragon Quest with the slime, like Final Fantasy with the chocobo, and you just see these monsters and just the enemies, and you can just tell that it's a wide world with a lot of just lore behind it. And this game was a really good entry. A lot of times with sequels, it's like a poor attempt to capitalize on what you had before, but I feel that Persona 5 knocked it out of the park, and this was a really good game. Combat, dungeons, music, story, confidant, all of that were great.
Yeah, definitely. But that's the review for you of Persona 5. We're all excited to play Joker and Smash.
That's a fact.
I hope that, I know it's probably not going to happen, but I'd like to see demons, like Jack Frost, as like assist trophies or different items, even though you never really play with them, but it'd be cool to see them in a new sort of environment, even as a
They should be a spirit.
Spirits, yeah. That would be sweet. But this is SRPG Plus. Thanks for checking in, and have a good rest of your night.
Peace.